Hello again, welcome back to Grace Signature. In today's video I'll be sharing with you my rere soup recipe. So this is rere and this is how it looks like. This is the seed derived from cantaloupe melon. All right, so this soup looks very similar to peanut butter soup, but this is not peanut butter soup. So come with me to my creative kitchen and let's dig straight into it. All right, so for the list of ingredients I'll be using for this recipe is chicken. I'm using one whole hard chicken and 2 cups of cantaloupe melon seed, which is the rare. I'm using 2 cups of that. And on the other side, I have 3 medium-sized fresh tomatoes, 3 habanero peppers, half slice of white onion, half slice of red onion, 6 cloves of garlic, and 3 pieces of ginger. Each is about half a thumb size. And for my spice and seasoning, I am using 1 teaspoon of vegetable seasoning, 1 teaspoon dried rosemary, 1 teaspoon aniseed aka nkitty, and 1 chicken tablet. I also have a pinch of salt there. So into my blender, I'll add in my onion, garlic, ginger, and then the spices. I'll then add enough water to this and blend it nicely. All right, so in this bowl I have here some diced onions that will be going on the chicken. So at this point my chicken is on the fire. I'll then add my diced onion and salt and allow this to simmer in its juice for about 5 minutes. Yes, I always love to allow my meat or chicken to simmer in its juices before I add in more water. At this point, I'll go ahead and work on my rere. So I'll pour the rere into a colander, shake it, and also run my fingers through it. This is to make sure that I get rid of some of the fallen materials that is in there. Whenever you buy rare, you will definitely find some stones or beans or peanuts, something different in there. So all those are fallen materials. We don't want them in our rare soup. Okay, so I'll show you what I got after running it through the colander. So look at that. We don't want all this in our soup. So at this point, I'll transfer this into a different plate and then pick out the bad ones. Okay, so after picking out the bad ones, I'll come back and then check on my chicken. So the chicken is doing really well. I'll give this a very good stir. I have some basil that I'll be adding to this, but I almost forgot that. And which is why I didn't show that in the beginning in the list of ingredients. All right, but I'll definitely add that to it as we keep going. All right, so at this point I've added in my blended ingredients, and now I'm adding in enough water. I'll give this a very good stir. I'll then add in my basil. You definitely need some basil aka akokomesa in your chicken soup or chicken stew. Yes. All right, so at this point I'll give this a good stir again and then cover it with the lid. I'll let this cook for about 5 to 10 minutes and then add in my fresh tomatoes and then the habanero peppers. All right, so at this point I've added that in. I will then cover it and then go and prep my rare soup. So before you make soup with your rare, you have to toast it or roast it. You can do this in the oven or in a frying pan, just like I'm doing. So at this point, I've poured the melon seed into my frying pan, which is the rere. I have to stir this continuously, because if I should leave it, it will get burned. All right, so make sure you stand right by it and then stir it continuously until it turns golden brown. All right, so at this point, I'll transfer this into my blender. I'll add in enough water and then blend this. I always love to blend it twice to make sure that I get the most out from this. Okay, so I've added in enough water. I'm going to give it a blend. All right, so I'm going to blend it again for the second time. You could choose to strain this and then blend the chaff again, but I prefer blending it twice at a go, and then I don't have to blend it again after straining it. All right, so yeah, whichever way you prefer. All right, so at this point, I'll pour this into my strainer and strain it. I'll add in enough water to loosen it so that it will be easy to flow. All right, so I'll run my fingers through. This is to enable it to flow quickly. Yeah, no time wasting. And always make sure your hands are clean. You've washed your hands, okay? Yeah. Right, so I'm going to add in some more water. All right, so after straining this, I'll pour this into the base of my soup, but before I pour it in, I'll get the tomatoes and the pepper out before I pour the strained melon seed into my soup base. You can also pour it straight away before blending the veggies. Whichever way you do it, is to still work. All right, so yeah. And always make sure you count the amount of peppers you put in your soup, so when you are picking them out, you know exactly how many you have to pick out. Okay, you don't want to be eating and then bite into pepper now. All right, so at this point, I'll pour my rere into my soup base and then give it a good stir. Cover it partially and then go back and blend my veggies, which is the tomatoes and then the pepper. Okay, so after blending that, I'll pour that into my soup, and guys, we'll get there soon. Okay, I've rinsed my blender and then pour that in as well. I'll give this a very good stir. The basil that is in this soup, oh my goodness, has taken the aroma to another level. It's just smelling incredibly good here in my kitchen. All right, so after 15 minutes, this is how my rere soup is looking. Look at that. This looks very similar to peanut butter soup, but they taste different. These two are sisters, okay? So Rere is a sister to peanut butter soup, and rere is usually served occasionally. This is not a soup that you get to eat every time, like palm nut soup, like light soup, like peanut butter soup or ebunebuno. No, no, no. You get to eat rere soup occasionally or when you have visitors around. All right, so yes, my soup has been cooking for 40 minutes, and here you are. Look at that. Isn't this beautiful? This is just awesome. All right, so while I was preparing my rere soup, my fufu was also on the fire. So yesterday I'll be having this soup with fufu. Okay, so my rare soup is ready to be served. I have tasted it. The salt is enough, and then the pepper is also enough, so I don't have to add in any more pepper. But then if you shouldn't get the right pepper taste, that heat that you want, you can add in some more peppers. All right, so guys, that's it, and now it's time for me to serve myself. Like I said earlier, my fufu was also on the other side. So yes, fufu is ready, and I'm not about, but I'm actually serving myself, and this is not for only me, it's for Harper and I. Yes, so everyone is invited. Come join us, have dinner. All right, guys, so that's it for today's video. Thank you also so much for watching. If today is your first time stopping by, a very warm welcome to Grace Signature. Make sure before you leave, you subscribe to this channel and also turn on your notification bell so anytime I upload a video, you will be first to be notified. And to my amazing team, thank you so much for your support to this channel. I'll see you again in my next one. Bye bye.